Extra. Joining me in studio is Julian Uggan, a writer and activist from our island. He has published 2 books. The first, The Fire This Time, which challenges the silence and holes in the history of the scheduled transfer of U.S. Marines from Okinawa to Guam. His second book was published this year, Just Left of the Setting Sun, addressed the long indigenous struggle against Guam's colonial relationship with the United States. Julian, welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Okay, first of all, maybe you could tell us a little bit about your book.
This book is actually the second book, The Fire This Time, Essays on Life Under U.S. Occupation. And basically what it does is tells the truth about how little the people of Guam actually know about this military buildup. It details the holes in the story and challenges and confronts the silence around this transfer. Because right now, obviously, the silence is the loudest sound on Guam because the people of Guam are not having a conversation. And that's what this book essentially says. It says that the Chamorro people and the people of Guam have a right to be at the table because right now Guam knows no details about this transfer, though it will have enormous social, political, and economic consequences for the people.
Okay. Now, today, Guam remains one of 16 non-self-governing territories, and evidence exists, and you stated, I believe, in your book, that the United States of America, which is Guam's administering power, has neglected its moral and legal obligation to allow for self-determination and ensure economic, social, and cultural well-being of the Chamorro people. Now, I understand that there are a few options our island has when it comes to choosing our political status, as explained by Mike. Does Guam have any negotiating power when we make decisions like bringing Marines to Guam?
Well, this is actually something that I was feeling when Maguette was speaking to you. He was saying, he was giving you the 3 options. But to me, like, it's easier for the people to understand that decolonization and self-determination is not, it's political by consequence, but what it's really about ultimately is power and deep disempowerment. Because the people of Guam are deeply disempowered. The messages we get, the dominant story being told, especially about this military buildup, is that will bring only benefit. But that's such a tall tale. And if you look deeper and deeper into this issue, you realize the holes, you just fall right into them. An entire people is falling into a hole. Like, and the hole is a story that we're being sold, you know, by the dominant media, and we're being sold this idea that this buildup will bring only benefit, and that's hardly the case. And even if it were, the ultimate issue is that that's what's political about this movement, about what Famuk does, about what Ina Chamorro is doing in OPIR. It's being political, but political in the best sense of the word. And that means to act with intention to protect civil society, even and especially when it's difficult. And that's exactly what this group is trying to do. It's trying to hold up both our hands and hold the line.
Okay. So maybe if you could send a message to the viewers at home, and, you know, if there's any way or that you could briefly, you know, let them know that it's time to stand up and make a choice, what would you say?
Actually, I read this it's 2 sentences, and I read it at the Sininganta, an event, a local event where it was, you got to see empowered young people at their best. And I read this short paragraph. I'll read it to you because I was told that this would be a good thing to tell to the people. But the B2s above us is not the loudest noise. The sound of everything we are not saying to each other is even louder. So loud we can barely hear ourselves think. So loud that these essays were written mostly to move into the silence, to get into bed with our timidity and pull back the covers.
Wow, that's pretty deep.
Can I tell you about one last thing?
Sure, not a problem.
There's a joint movement right now, and Victoria will come back on and tell you a little bit more about an event we're having tomorrow night. But this bumper sticker it's a new island-wide campaign that we're doing. It's 8,000. How will it change our lives? And of course, we know that it's not 8,000. It's actually, the official estimate is 35,000 U.S. military personnel moving to Guam at the beginning of next year. But this is the beginning of a campaign. So if you're interested, please email decolonizeguam@gmail.com. And the second thing we're doing is an island-wide, hopefully a village-to-village petition, actually listing our legitimate grievances with how little the people of Guam actually know about this move that will change our lives.
Okay. Thanks, Julian. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Keep it tuned with KUM News Extra. Victoria will join us again to recite a poem that she has written in reference to Guam's proposed military buildup and decolonization, and she has a treat for you. We'll be right back.